Hello Spanaway Warriors, this is Mr. Hill, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your gradebook. So first thing is to go to hover over gradebook, and then we're going to go to gradebook setup, and then in gradebook setup it'll be a screen like this, and I'm going to click on assignment types. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to create different assignment types, which was called categories in Skyward, I believe. And then we'll set up different grade scales, um, and then apply this to our classes. So the district has summative, formative, and participation as the defaults. And the science department decided that we wanted to have the categories match what it says in Edgenuity. So in my Edgenuity, we have tests, assignments, and labs. So in order for Edgenuity to what they see in Edgenuity to match with what they see in Student View and Parent View, we decided we would have the same names. So all you're going to do is press the plus sign on the right here, and then you're just going to put in the name. So labs is one of the ones, and then the sequence is just what order. So we just did 4, 5, 6 because summative, formative, the district, and participation, the district set one for 1, 2, 3. So you can put it in whatever order you want, and that's the order it'll show up. That's totally up to you. And then you can decide if you want to have a due date. So, like if you're going to put grades into Canvas and you want to send it over, if you set it to yes, it's going to require a due date. If you set it to no, it won't require a due date. So that's totally up to you. In your department. So once you do that, I am not going to press insert because I've already got them and I haven't figured out how to delete them. But anyways, um, so you can type in your assignment type and your sequence, and then you just press insert over here on the top right, and that's it. And then you just do that for how many ever assignment types that you want. So after I had my 3 created, I have labs, assignments, and tests. So what I need to do now is I'm going to click on the gradebook setup here, and that's going to allow me to change my weights. So it'll show the district assignment types and the assignment types you created. So we've put in our weights 20, 20, and 60, and then so you're going to change whatever you want. You know, if you're using formative and summative, then you just change it to whatever's your department. So once I do that, I want to apply this to my classes. So you can see that up here, I'm in advisory. So I see all my science. So this is going to apply to advisory and science. So you may have different categories for advisory that you put in, and then you may have different categories for your main classes or your different classes. You can select all down here to apply it to all your classes. Um, but so I did that. I applied it to all my classes. But actually, what I did first is I changed it to only show my types, so that all that I see and all that the students see is just the 3 categories: assignments, labs, and tests. And so you have to do that. And then I pressed update after. So if I click on select all classes, it's going to, and then I press update, it's going to apply these weighted categories. But if I remember correctly, it doesn't change the types that are shown for each class. So you got to go in each one, and I only want to see my types, so I update that, and then I go to each period, and I change it again to only show my types. Press update. So I'll do this for all my classes. And So what I did at the bottom there when I selected all the classes was just applied these weight categories to the classes. So if you have different weight categories you want for advisory, you would just change it for that class. If you have different weight categories for teaching multiple sections or different plans, then you can change it or you can apply it to the classes. So that's it for the assignment types and setting up the categories like Skyward would call it in Synergy. So what we're going to do next is we're going to look at the grading scales. So the district has these Genesis Progress Period TA, Genesis Grading TA, Progress Period, and then Grading. So you can see that the way they have it here is like this is pass fail, even though it's out of order, and I will show you how to change that. And then this is like your regular grading scale, like the progress and the grading. And you have to change both of these, and I'll show you how to do both, because when you apply it to your classes, you can only choose progress period grades that basically stem from this. So if you change this and you wanted to apply it to the end, you couldn't, or to the progress, and the grades would be different anyway. So I'll show you how to do this. You can also see they have a standards-based grading, which we're not using as a building, and then they have a bunch of, I think they're trying to figure out how to do pass-fail, and you can tell they did it like a million times and without success, but I think I figured out a way around it. So I'm going to show you how to do this. You can see I have my grading scale, progress grading scale of A, B, C, I, and then a final grading scale A, B, C, F. And then I have a advisory TA final grading scale of pass fail, and then a advisory TA progress grading scale of pass and incomplete. So I'll show you how to set those up, but that's the goal. So the first thing you can do is, or you're gonna have to do, is you're gonna have to duplicate. So we'll just start with this top one here. So you press duplicate and then you press OK, and then it's going to go to the very bottom. So you got to scroll all the way down and then you'll see a copy. So this is progress, so you want to keep that in mind, because when you open it, you're going to want to change this to, I'm just calling it Hill Advisory TA Progress Grading Scale. So I'm going to say the same thing, and then I'm just going to say 2. I can delete this later. So on the right here is how you're going to, so once you change title, you're going to change the grade bands. It's out of order, so F is being higher than a P. So all you do is you click on this little edit, and then, so I want my F to have a low score of 0 and a high score of 69.99. And I actually messed this up. I forgot. So I'm going to cancel and I'm going to delete. In order to get an I, so I want pass I for progress, and you can't change the F and the P. So in order to get the I, you have to edit the actual Genesis progress period. So sorry about that and wasting your time watching this video. So what you'll do for that is you click on Genesis progress period, and then you click on the duplicate under that, because we need an I, and it needs to be the progress in order to put this as the progress. So again, you scroll all the way down, and then I'll edit it, and so I will do Hill Advisory TA Progress Grading Scale 2, and then I want P and I. So I need to delete all the rest of them. So you just press this little X, and you don't have to press on the word delete. When you press this X, it's saying that it will be deleted once I come over here and save it. So I'm going to get rid of all of these. I want the P and I want the I, but I need to change the values here. So the low score for passing would be 70.00, and then the high score would be 100.00, and the value has to match the high score. So you do 100.00, and then I'm going to do a sequence. I'm just going to say 1 because I want to be the first row. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a lower value than this one, but I'm going to do 1. And then a low score is 0, and a high score is 69.99. 69.99. The value has to match the high score, and then a 2. So I've got all these rows being deleted, and these 2 rows are being edited once I press save. So press save, press OK to delete those rows. And then now I have a grading scale that is pass incomplete. So I'll save that and then go back. And you can see at the bottom, here is my grading scale 2. So what you want to do now is you want to create your final grading scale for advisory, or if you have a TA, and that one does include an F, so we can use this one, but we want to not use the progress, we want to use the actual main grading one, and I'll show you why later. So I'll press duplicate, press OK, scroll all the way to the bottom, click on the title that says copy, and then I'll change it to Hill Advisory TA Final Grading Scale, which is there. And I'm going to put 2 so I have a separate name. And then I want to keep these. I just need to edit. So I need the pass to come up above the F. So what I'll do is I know my F is a 0 and a high score of 69.99. Then the value is 69.99, but I want this sequence to be a 2. And then I'll edit this. Passing low score is 70, and a high score is 100. The value has to match the high score, so I'll do 100 again, and then I'll tab, and I'm going to have a sequence of 1. And so when I save this, the P will come to the top, and the F will go to the bottom. Just like that. And so that's it. So then I have a TA, advisory TA, final pass fail grading scale. So press save again just to be sure, and then press back. And again, scrolling all the way to the bottom, I have my final advisory TA grading scale and progress. And so it's just going to show up in the order you create them. So now I need to create my final grading scale and progress grading scale for my main classes. So to do that, we'll just start with the final. So again, you just duplicate and scroll all the way to the bottom. Click on the copy title. So this is progress. So it'll be Hill progress grading scale, and then I'm going to write a 2. I can just come back again and delete these later. So again, our progress grading scale in our building is A, B, C, and I. And so I need to get rid of all the minuses and pluses and all the D's. Get rid of an F, all this stuff. And I just want to keep A, B, C, and I. So you can see A, B, C, and I. And then I'm going to edit. A low score is a 90 for us. And high score is 100, value is 100. Sequence, it doesn't really matter. I don't need to change these because it's going to show up in the right order. And then a B is an 80. Is a low score for B, and then a high score is 89.99. So again, the value has to match high score, so 89.99. And then a C, click on the edit. Low score for C is 70, high score for C is 79.99. Change the high score and the value. And then I need to edit an I, and I would be a low score of a 0. And then a high score of 69.99. 69.99, and then that's it. So I see I've deleted a bunch and I've kept ABCI, so when I press save, it's going to ask to delete. So I'll delete those, and now I have ABCI. And then I will save again just to be sure. and then press back. So all the way at the bottom, I have my progress grading scale. So the last one we need to do is the final grading scale. So I'll go to just the regular Genesis grading, press duplicate, press OK, and I scroll all the way to the bottom again. If you've caught on already, you don't need to really watch this part, but you want to watch the end where I apply it to the classes. But anyway, so go to all the way to the bottom, click on my copy, change the name, Hill Final Grading Scale, and then put a 2. You don't put a 2. So again, now it's A, B, C, F. So I need to get rid of all the minuses and pluses and all the D's. We don't have D's. I keep the F this time, and so I'm just going to delete the rest of these by clicking on the X. And then now I need to edit the ranges. So an A is a 90. Oops. And then a B is a 80 to an 89.99. Change both the high score and the value so they match. And a C is a 70 to a 79.99. And then an F is a 0 to a 69.99. So once I do that, you can see all rows are deleted besides A, B, C, F. Now if you accidentally put something in here wrong, it's going to give you an error message that'll tell you what you needed to fix. So now I have my final grading scale of A, B, C, F. Press save just to make sure, and back. So on the bottom, those are my grading scales that I've created. I have a progress for advisory and TA, PI. I have a final for advisory and TAs, PF, pass fail. I have a progress grading port, A, B, C, and I. And then I have a final grading scale, A, B, C, F. So all that's left is to apply this to our classes. So on the top, I'll click on class settings. And then I need to edit these. So I already had mine applied, but I redid it or reset it so that I could show you. So you'll click this little, when you hover over here, you'll see this edit. You'll click on that, and you're going to change the grading period. So this is a final, and you'll notice only the ones that were edited as a final are going to show up. So this is why before I said you have to pick a final one to edit it, because the option won't be there if you were trying to, if you created a final grading scale by duplicating one of the progress grading scales, that option won't show up here. So you have to make sure that if you're creating your own grading scale for progress, it has to be duplicated from a progress. And if you're creating your own grading scale from a final, for a final, it has to be duplicated from a final. So I'm going to apply my actual ones. And so this is a final, and this is a regular class. It's not advisory, so Hill final. And then progress would be Hill progress. And then if I edit here, Hill final, Hill progress. And I just keep doing this. Hill final, Hill progress. And now the bottom one is advisory. So I will actually choose Hill advisory TA final and Hill advisory TA progress, because those are pass, fail, and pass incomplete. There's other options here, and you can discuss those if you'd like in your departments, but the only one you might consider is this one, but that's up to you guys. So anyways, all you do is press save, and then now all your classes are set to automatically change the grading scales to the from progress to final determined by the calendar set by the district.